Warcraft 2 got leaked a week before Warcraft Direct, and there is a lot of questions, and I got the answers, because it is not what you think it is anymore. This is not Warcraft Reforged. As a matter of fact, if you look at the code, it's gonna tell you quite a bit about it, and this is quite the screw up here, quite the mistake getting this out before Warcraft Direct. So this is one of the announcements we're gonna get in Warcraft Direct now. As they say here in Wowhead, this is an update to their CDN, their content delivery network, so that means like the service to download stuff, their server and stuff. Take a look at this though. This little bunch of characters is the metadata that they uploaded to their server, okay? So they were preparing to make a website showing Warcraft 2 Remastered, but some jerkwad at Blizzard didn't realize that he had to wait another week before he did it, so that's how this all came out to be. The metadata of the website is visible even if you cannot see it. You can just still go to like the developer tools and see it. You can read right here Warcraft 2 Remastered Alpha, so there is an alpha that works already. We are probably gonna see gameplay in Warcraft Direct. That's something we're gonna see here. That's another spoiler right there. There is a bunch of the code or where the desktop shortcut is gonna go and stuff. And this is gonna be something that's very weird. You can see right here x86. That would mean that for some reason this software is 32 bits. Or at the very least that is using 32-bit libraries or some sort of thing like that, because they are editing the registry right here. Of course, guys, as you know, 32-bit computers have not been a thing for a long time. I mean, a lot of games still support 32-bit computers, but 32-bit computers are probably not the standard since like the late 2000s. Of course, Warcraft 2 was made for 32-bit computers, and what I mean by this, why I think this is an important thing to notice here, is that it will quite literally be a remaster. It will not be a remake, it will not have a new engine. This is pretty much the old Warcraft 2 with a new coat of paint, and they are gonna do very little touch-ups to it. Because if they made the new game from scratch, why would they make it in 32 bits, a hardware that doesn't even exist anymore? That's just dumb. If I were to guess what they are gonna do is they're gonna take all the sprites, because Warcraft 2 is a 2D game. This is what the game looks like, guys, okay? What I assume they are gonna do is they are gonna take all these little pixelated sprites, make them look a little nicer. They probably, because of the word remaster, they probably have a lot of the original files of the artwork, and they can just upscale it from that. I am not familiar with how they painted Warcraft 2, but a lot of games of this era, back when their games were still pixelated but not quite pixelated, they used to make actual normal artwork and they would just scan it and downscale it to pixels, so maybe that's what's going on here. But I would not expect a lot more than them to just make a Warcraft 2 that runs well in modern hardware. That wouldn't take a lot of effort to do that. There's community patches that do that already for Warcraft 2. Just modify the original game a little bit, mainly change the way that colors work, because this game was designed for a different color system back in old Windows. You remember that error that used to happen in Windows XP? Oh, you are not running this in 256 whatever colors. That's what they mean. Now, I theorized on a previous video that I think that Microsoft is gonna try to use Age of Empires 2 technology to make some sort of Blizzard RTS, because why wouldn't they? They already got most of the hard work done. Turning Age of Mythology into something that plays just like Warcraft 3 wouldn't take a lot of effort. Honestly, it would be very easy to make. But this, because people are gonna ask me if I don't, so this is why I'm making this video, this is not that. This is quite literally a patch on top of the old game that will make the game run on modern hardware, and they are obviously gonna try to introduce some modern features like decent online play, because online play of Warcraft 2, like every other RTS of the time, freaking sucked and it was unplayable and it took you 2 hours to get a group together. So they are definitely gonna work on that. But yeah, do not expect this project to be ambitious. And also on the flip side, you can probably expect that Blizzard is not gonna try to ruin it the same way that they ruined Warcraft 3, because this is just the same Warcraft 2 with probably better sprites, a little nicer graphics, and that's pretty much freaking it. And I do not mean to say that's a bad thing, you know, a lot of people like Warcraft 2 and they are gonna get to play a probably better version of it now. As a matter of fact, Blizzard is really actually, because Warcraft 3 Reforged was doomed from the start, right? The backlash of changing Warcraft 3, the original game, and all the stuff they did, they basically got rid of all the goodwill out of the game, so they were never gonna grow an actual community out of the game. This looks to me like a sincere effort from Blizzard to see, do people actually care about Warcraft, or they just pretend to care about Warcraft? Because I assure you, a lot of people clamoring for Warcraft 4 have no interest in actually playing Warcraft 4 if it comes out, and Blizzard and especially Microsoft would really like to see if this thing pulls numbers, if the project of a Warcraft 4 is worth pursuing. So I think they are gonna treat us pretty well on this one, not like they did with Warcraft 3. I am actually a little happy about that. Warcraft is not my RTS. I am an Age of Empires boy. I will always be an Age of Empires boy. Warcraft 4 would have to do something really amazing to get me into Warcraft as an RTS. Nothing personal, I just think turn ratios are lame and they limit micro and they make the game play terribly, so I'm not gonna do it. Screw you guys, what do you know? I just wanted to make sure that you guys watching do not have insane expectations out of this game, because it will not be something huge. And that's perfectly fine. They are not supposed to be something huge. They do not intend it to be something huge. This game is just gonna tell us if the original Warcraft RTS community is actually interested in a new game. It seems like a win-win scenario, right? You get like a small game that probably costed you very little because it's just rehashing the old game with very little work on top, and from that you can actually draw very good market data to see if the RTS development of Blizzard is worth pursuing or not. If I were to guess, guys, I think Warcraft 4 is a long shot. And I think Microsoft is gonna learn that the hard way, because, and I do not mean to hate on the Warcraft 3 community, they are not doing anything wrong, but when Microsoft abandoned Age of Empires for, what was it, like 15 years, the community kept it alive. The community kept tournaments, huge freaking tournaments running, okay? We had people like T90 that was managing to pull 10,000 viewers on Twitch on a tournament, on a game that wasn't supported since 2003. It took an insane amount of effort from the community to convince Microsoft that Age of Empires 2 was worth pursuing. And even though it was successful, it wasn't a completely blow the bathwater success like a new Fortnite for Microsoft. It was just a solid franchise pulling solid numbers. And that's exactly what I want to tell you. The Warcraft 3 community is much smaller than the Age of Empires community used to be. There is less events, there is less general hype, and there is a lot of less goodwill towards the game thanks to Blizzard. So I think even solid numbers are kind of out of the question. That is not to mean that Warcraft 4 is not pursuing. That is to mean that if Microsoft is gonna pursue Warcraft 4, it is going to take an entirely new vision, and it will probably take a lot more than repurposing Age of Empires 2 or Age of Mythology engine and making Warcraft 4 out of that. So time will tell. Let's see how Warcraft 2 sells. We're gonna hear about it very soon. Subscribe, join the Discord, and thank you for watching.